All right, we're looking up Ayaru, the Field of Reeds. This is one of my business ideas for art collection. I have a little bit of time before got to get that education, bruh. And so gonna go through. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do this with all my business ideas and try to kind of cycle through and just kind of get the ideas out there. I know they're really rough drafts. A lot of them are gonna be like almost like bare minimum stuff. Some of them are a little bit more complex. Some of them are actually pretty decent, and we'll get to those. But yeah, just kind of we'll figure it out. Well, you'll kind of see what I'm doing as you watch the videos, but we're just going to go ahead and try to get through these ideas and get them out there. So for Ayaru, the Field of Reeds, it is a grand collection of the creative arts. The collection includes works of art ranging from portraits and paintings to anamorphic art, stone sculptures, clay pottery, hot blown glass, and much more. There's an idea for having AI robot tattoo artists. So that's more of a subsidiary, like the tattoo company. So that could be incorporated there. That's going to be a subsidiary of Ayaru. The AI robot tattoo artists will produce AI art, and the technology be more precise. We definitely need to work on that technology. I don't know if anybody's actually doing that or investments being made in that because it's not really a necessity. Um, but if it can happen, that'd be cool. So different hashtag tags I have here are concept art, visionary art, art collection, art creation, art museum, art gallery, art traders, art show, avant-garde, and experimental art. Got an idea here for anamorphic anatomy art. So this one will basically take animals and take the anatomy of them, different organs, bones, and parts of their skeleton. And so facing in a certain way, like say facing forward to it, it's going to look like it's all together. But as soon as you go to the side, or like if you the thing itself is on a podium and it rotates, or if the person walks around, they'll basically see the whole entire organism, the creature anatomy elongated. So you have like the skull and then the brain, like over here with like the spine and like different things, like all the bones and organs are basically separated to the extent that they're able to be individually delineated from each other visually. And then we'll have plaques, information plaques. Those will correlate to various anatomical components to provide additional facts, figures, and details. So I think that'd be kind of cool concept, and it doesn't have to be the actual animal. So if it doesn't have to be like barbaric or grotesque to some people, but like you're taking actual animals and like less taxidermy-ish and more we could just recreate 3D print similar looking pieces like that, or we could use real things. I mean, so as long as people aren't freaked out by it, and as long as we find ways to preserve it, I mean, preservation might be the issue. So that's why we might need to create artificial or synthetic versions of the replications of the anatomy. So I think artificial 3D printed versions would be more practical instead of having anatomical parts that might decay or rot or I don't know, just not be need maintenance and not necessarily be as sanitary. So yeah, I think creating artificial anatomy or replicas of it would suffice. All right, I have looks like logos or something. So for a brand, the web design. So it looks like a spider web. I can show it to you. See it. Look at what I'm looking at. There we go. That's what it looks like. So this one, it looks like it kind of starts off this way, but goes in a spiral pattern. Doesn't actually connect equidistantly, but it just basically kind of spirals like that, which is kind of how a spider would normally do it. I don't know. Different spiders spin webs in different ways. But we also have like the symmetrical design, which is perfectly symmetrical no matter which way you rotate it. All right. Then we also have this one, the sort of a ring DNA double helix, but sort of bent into a spiral pattern. It's a closed loop DNA strand design. Have ones that are very simple, kind of gradually get more complex. I think this one's probably favorite. Brand 3, we have the W represents web. So it looks like a little spider here, or all of them look like little spiders. This one looks like more like a little octopus. So we got the flaunted spider design. Oh, flaunted spider design. Here, they bring it closer to you. We have the digital spider design, so it's a little bit more analog or like just vertical and horizontal lines. And then the wavy spider design. Then for brand 4, this one looks a little bit more complex. We have I call it like the Catalyst logo. But basically we have different things here. So different sections. The outermost border kind of represents Earth. The inside hollow parts represent air. We got water in the middle, and I create a little blue or some sort of pattern or texture decoration there. And then we have fire coming out the middle from this little energy ball or the sun or whatever that might be. All right, and then next idea, we have a commemorative tribute for fallen soldiers. Create a special section or type of seats that are blocked off to audience members. These seats are designated to commemorate soldiers and veterans who are lost and do not have the privilege of being with us today. They made the ultimate sacrifice so that we may share the luxury of enjoying the experiences that they are no longer able to. The names of deceased soldiers can be displayed over each of the seats. Engraving and can be engraved if we can collaborate with other stadiums or arenas and large venues to devote one to each soldier. Printed or paper cut cardboard signs can be switched out to allow for more opportunities for more soldiers to be recognized and remembered. This will be kind of like more of a cheaper version. It's kind of maybe to get it started. Probably wouldn't be permanent unless there's just enough where we want to be able to put it out there. VR, virtual reality, so they can be sort of simulated digitally. If we can get to a point where digitally rendered interactive images are available to all or most viewers watching via streaming TV or VR glasses and goggles. Also, okay, you could be at the stadium with like VR glasses and see TV, and watching it through the TV, you see the soldier, the image of the soldier sitting in that seat. Whereas if you're like in person without the VR glasses or something like that, you wouldn't be able to, it would just be an empty seat. But on TV, we could basically transpose that onto the image onto the seat and onto the TV. I think it'd be kind of cool. That way you kind of get to visually see their likeness as well. Instead of just hearing their name or hearing about them, you get to see the face that goes with the name. Each individual seat represents a given number of soldiers who have passed away too early. For example, the scale used to calculate the proper ratio of seats to soldiers can be something like 1 seat per 1,000 soldiers. Seats should be designated by artists seats should be designed by artists, elaborately decorated with beautiful textures and patterns. Every seat should be unique. No 2 seats should be identical. And we got contemporarily, events can often ask veterans to stand. How about something more meaningful for those who are gone? Yeah, so I know baseball games or different events can be like, can veterans please stand up? Yeah, those are the ones that are still here. I want a way to commemorate those who aren't. Reasons for losses, military losses include PTSD, I don't know if I could say that word on YouTube. KIA or MIA. We have a objective to contact teams and venues and see what, kind of just collaborate with them, communicate with them, see what they think, trying to just bounce the idea off of them, and contact several artists to create drafts for different designs, kind of get their insight on what might be a pretty cool design for these seats. I do have a little picture here I can kind of show you, so I don't know if you need to pause it. I'm gonna just do this, so I'm just gonna hold it up. So this is what I'm looking at, and then you can pause it, and then I'll just go ahead and read it, so that way you can kind of see it. Because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm not like super familiar with AutoCAD and digital design or the Illustrator and SketchUp or anything like that yet. So my ability to like just pop up images and stuff like that for you is a little limited right now. But I'll always try to show you. So we have one seat design here. Looks like a kind of cushioned seat. Looks pretty comfy. And no one's going to be sitting in it, but still kind of it's for the tribute. We have a picture of, I guess, whatever this is a scenery of mountains, but I guess it can be kind of representative of where they're from. So wherever the soldier's from, kind of take the background or some scenery, add that in there, and then there's a United States flag there. Then engraved on top would be their name, a little bit about them, when they were born, when they died, what they did, what regiment or battalion they're a part of, just different details, just give a more well-rounded picture of the soldier. There can be, so one of the designs is where I have all the seats bunched up together. So if you have a stadium, all the seats are together in one place, or you could have each of the seats scattered. So like you have like 10 seats and then one veteran seat, and then 10 seats and then one fallen soldier seat. And so just kind of spread out, and they'll be kind of everywhere so that everybody in the stadium's sort of relatively close to one. Or we can have one just big giant section that's like blocked off. So you could do either or. I feel like both would have their benefits. So it's just different styles. I think you get you kind of touch people in different ways doing that. So like I think the bunched together version, you kind of get a better picture of like, oh crap, that's how much out of this stadium. That's how many seats are taken out. Like, and each of those seats are like representative of like 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 people. That's it kind of helps people get a better grasp of how many people we've actually lost and how many people have sacrificed their lives for us to be where we are today. And then the scattered one has its own benefits because everybody being relatively close to one, no matter where you are in the stadium, you'll kind of be able to see a seat and be like, damn, there should be a person sitting in that seat. All right. I have an idea for grave plots. Levitating lanterns uses magnets or quantum locking to provide lift for the lantern sphere. Particle hologram. Holograms contained in a pyramid, obelisk, pyramid, obelisk, cube, sphere, etc., shaped glass containers or glass-like containers. So basically, have the cube or the container or the pyramid, and then you'll have like the particles, like those little things, kind of like, oh my god, I have one right here. Just to explain, I'll hold it up. Literally like this thing, like that, this guy. But just basically bigger versions that have the person's face, the person's likeness, the person's name, whatever other information you want to add, images, stuff like that. And I think ideally I wanted the particles of the bubbles or whatever was composing the image, each of those particles to be able to move around and kind of be dynamic. And so you go from one image to the next. Have AI learning simulation evaluation, or sorry, AI learning simulation / emulation virtual reality and CGI simulation. Creates a visual depiction of the deceased, and loved ones can verbally and possibly physically interact with it to simulate speaking with the person even after they have passed on. So yeah, just basically creating an AI representation of that person, so that way you can go to the grave plot, you can basically talk to that person, because people go to the graves and they'll kind of talk to the people but won't get anything back. Like just being able to take the person's social media, all the data that they've ever had, pictures and different memories, and the AI can even learn from different interactions that you've had, play off of the memories that people share. And it's basically when you go to a grave, be able to have something that you can speak to. I know it's not going to be exactly the same, but it could be a feature if somebody wants to add it. It's not mandatory, but figure it's something that could be available if desired. All right. We have a laser engraving 3D printing service for chiseling and inscribing. Purchase 3D printer, purchase laser printer. It's not really a novel idea there. A World War II moving shadows mural. So this is supposed to be here. I'll just read it, and if there's any gaps I need to fill in, I'll fill it in. A large screen is placed as a wall monument. Across the screen, silhouettes of people can be seen walking by, going about their everyday lives. In other words, a mother pushing a stroller with her baby or holding her baby in her arms, an old man with a cane, or two people having a conversation, etc. Suddenly, the screen flashes bright. Once the light dims down, the silhouettes can be seen frozen in place as shadows on the wall from an atomic explosion that killed them in the blink of an eye, an explosion they never saw coming. Yeah, so basically, the shadows on the wall moving around, kind of interacting, just doing everyday things. And then you'll see a bright flash, it'll go white, and then it'll kind of dim down. You just see like the mirror, the people frozen in place. Maybe as a transition to kind of cycle back through again, the ashes will fall down or the silhouettes will kind of crumble down in the ash or blow away or something like that. And then maybe either fade or something like that, and then it'll start up again. So it'll fade, and then what'll come back to light will be the background, but the silhouettes will still remain, and they'll be back walking around again until you see the bright flash, and it kind of just cycles through that same image. Maybe like once per few minutes, once per hour, could be different times. Or it could be at a certain time in the morning, maybe commemorative of the time of day that the bombs were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. All right, we got another idea for the tattoo company. Here, just raise it up there. That's what we're looking at. You can go ahead and pause if you need to. All right. We got infinity loop bands. Right wrist, infinity loop bands, and left wrist, right ankle, left ankle, and spine. So here, right foot, left foot, on the just above the ankle, and then on the eyes, and then down the spine. It's a cool design. DNA double helix is always a cool shape. Create a sculpture composed of various valuable stones and minerals. Used amethyst points for dragon teeth. Okay, so just basically creating a sculpture out of different gemstones and precious metals objects. Nothing too extreme. All right, subsidiary tattoo parlor. Here we go. What was it called? Rorschach? The Rorschach, Roar and Shack. The Rorschach. Like kind of playing off a little wordplay off of Rorschach, like the. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about the dude from Watchmen, but like the Rorschach paintings, the ones that you like just an ink blot, and then you try to figure out what it is. Like one guy is like, "That's a cute little puppy," and another guy is like, "That's a lady murdering a puppy," and then you're like, "That guy's crazy." Rorschach paintings. So tattoo parlor. Oh, I'm already kind of ready. Subsidiary tattoo. Create a new type of tattoo style. Invent a metallic polymer consisting of a non-perishable and non-biodegradable gel-like substance laced with various liquefied precious metals, stones, or jewels that have been purified and treated extensively and thoroughly. Other chemicals may need to be added to preserve the fluid's cleanliness, consistency, composition, and character. All right, another note for the tattoo parlor subsidiary. I need a name for this company slash shop. Mobile slash traveling tattoo artist. Ooh, could do that too. Come to you. Artists come to clients. Clients can scroll through various artist profiles to see their artwork and personal tattoo styles. If they like an artist, they swipe right, kind of like Tinder. Clients will post their own drawings, doodles, drafts, or worded descriptions of the tattoos they want. If the artist likes the client's idea and thinks they can do the tattoo, they will swipe right on the client's profile. If they really like the artist, or if the client really likes the artist and they are willing to pay the artist's listed bonus slash express slash VIP pass price, then the artist accepts their offer, the client will be bumped up to the front of the artist's client queue. If the artist really likes the client's idea and wants to do a tattoo for free slash or pro bono for the experience, status, or other reason, they can swipe up. Why don't artists just work for themselves instead of paying a percentage of the profits to ARU? They could, but they wouldn't have the access to the broad base of existing members and other prospective leads. Employees pay Aru for a cut for the opportunity to use the app to effortlessly generate and pursue client leads. Clients and artists can both add each other to their favorites list if they would be open if they would be open to working with each other more in the future. Excuse me, sorry. Dude, I'm only like a few ideas in. I'm already 20 minutes in. Jeez, man. All right, this is gonna take a little while, but it's all right. We got a lot of ideas. We got so many ideas. All right, tattoos to get: torso, back, spine, DNA double helix, artificial technology coalesces with. Okay, so we got the artificial technology. So I wanted these for me, but these could just be for anybody. So on the torso back is like a DNA double helix. Already been through that one. Saw that one. Artificial technology coalesces with the natural biology. So you got one of the strands kind of like maybe looks robotic or metallic or mechanical, and the other one looks like it's covered in vines or plant materials. It looks more organic. On the right arm, a tribal warrior sleeve. Right leg, thigh, so thigh tattoo, and then left calf tattoo. Okay, nothing too new there. We got a picture that is of me and somebody. Picture of I called it the catalyst symbol. There we go. Here. Boom. There we go. Pause. Look at it if you want. There we go. All right, we have the trident. Okay, so this is the trident. If you're looking down on it, it makes sort of the catalyst symbol, so the catalyst logo. And so if you're looking down on it, so from a top view, it looks like a trident, or yeah, the catalyst logo. The trident, the side view of it, looks pretty freaking cool. So it's so you got one that goes this way, another one that's like a medium length, and one that's a really long length. So forming a trident of different sized prongs. Then we have a staff here that looks like it has something wrapped around it with a texture for grip. And then have a blade, a unique looking blade that kind of goes like that, real curvy and fancy. It actually looks pretty sexy. Dude, if I had something like that, I would carry that everywhere I go. It's just like my scepter, my big trident scepter. That's cool. All right, I have another photo here. I think it's just concept art or just. Today was perfect. I'm so lucky to have you, babe. No, I'm the lucky one. I have the perfect girl. And as long as I have you, everything is perfect. Na, 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 na. All right, that's great. Horny, sappy, young high school love. Isn't it sweet? Got another photo here. It is like me chained up, chasing someone else who seems like they're burning up with something else. Ooh, this one's more of like I feel this might be more of a Golden Age Film Productions idea, but I do specifically remember this. I don't know if this was a dream or just a daydream I had, and I was just kind of wandering off. And basically, I imagined like a giant space creature that with like tentacles like going all over the place, like some like really thick, some like really thin, like tentacles coming off of tentacles. And so like you got this spaceship that's like trying to fly over here. Maybe you got other spaceships too, but you got the view from the camera is from the gunner, and so you got the gunner on the side of the spaceship, like just opens up the slot for the well, fuck, you're in space. It's not gonna be like the Hueys where you got the minigun pulled out there, but it's gonna be kind of like imagine. Yeah, so you have his view, but basically it zooms into the camera view, and you can see the gun just basically shooting at was it Azathoth? Azathoth, this mythical creature. I think has something to do with Cthulhu. I don't know. But basically it's Azathoth, and he's basically in space trying to like I don't know, exist or whatever. He's causing all kinds of chaos. And so there's a reason these guys are going out in space and they're just on the gunner turret and just like, as they're flying around. Azathoth is freaking swinging his tentacles everywhere. And other ships are trying to fight it, and then they're getting swatted down by tentacles, or I guess in space there's no up or down, but like, they're getting swatted by tentacles and they're exploding and smashed into smithereens. Well, this one's like flying around this way. You can see Azathoth like over here, and it's like going like this way, like kind of like the AC-130s, just different types of rounds, just going, just laying in everything you got, fire everything. Yeah, so like just the mental picture I have it in my head. Hopefully, I explain that okay, but I just have a pretty intense like stuff getting swatted down. All right. Oh, I'm trying to get better with my words. All right. Next one up is Aura in the Park. So I thought it was a cool name for a daughter. Aura. Aura or Aurora. And a little thought bubble here, me looking at her playing in the park while just thinking to myself, you look just like your mother. Just like your mother. All right, I have another one here. This one's a little harder to tell because it's all in red ink. So I'm just hold it for a second, try to get a good view. Sorry for the glare and everything, but all right. So basically, this one has it's kind of like on the coast. Imagine like the west coast. You got like kind of grassy mountains with the road kind of looping around the mountains like that. Maybe sort of towards like Santa Monica or Malibu. Facing out towards the ocean, you can see the moon in the distance. You can see the moon's reflection off the water, so it's probably like nighttime, kind of dark. And you have a giant spaceship just where you so you got a little bit of the beach, wave foam crashing onto the beach, and then reflection of the Starcraft too on the water. You kind of see that slowly starting to appear on the water too. And then kind of in the foreground, we have we're standing, me and a girl are standing on a cliff. I'm taking a photo of the scenery, and then that's when I kind of look up and be like, oh my God, there's a giant starship. Where's that going? What's that doing here? Oh, I even have like lasers. Okay, so weapons charging to fire at something in the distance. Foreign spaceship from another world. Or one of our spaceships. I don't know. Some spaceship. But it's like charging up its beams to fire at something. And so we're gonna see it fire at, so if this is made into a movie, we're gonna see it fire at something in the distance. We don't know what it is. And then maybe something's gonna fire back. I think that would be the cool part where we see it fire, and then there's this silence. And then we see something fire back, it's like, but then you see the whole ship go and then go crashing down in the ocean. And you're like, oh crap, what is coming? And then you just something else is gonna come after that. I think like kind of cool for like a movie sequence. Rule of two, male and female, oval or circle. Okay, so like the cartoon dudes have oval or circle eyes, and the females have rectangle or square eyes. Okay, nothing. It's kind of like okay, yeah. I have an idea here for an outfit. Try to draw a girl here. Basically, like the skirt, I think mostly was the idea. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. I like when girls wear dresses. The dresses are nice, like the loose stuff where you got something floating or flailing in the wind. So she got like tiger tattoo and stuff. Okay, so the main point is this dress. So it's like, oh, it looks like all black on one side, and then it's got like some cool little patterns on the other. There's an opening or slit in the dress approximately 6 to 8 inches below the waistline. And material options, I have silk. So use silk. So that's the only material option I have there so far. An idea for the outpost or camp. It's raining. The weather type is raining. Main colors. So the tint of this, it's black and white now, but it's going to be more blue, light blue, dark blue. So different shades of blue. And so this is basically the outpost or a camp. And so you got like little prison cells or jail cells there with rain coming down. You got like some puddles here. You got a puddle in the corner up there collecting. And then I think maybe like another puddle here with like, you can't barely see it, but like the corner of another jail cell there. So it's kind of like a walk through path where you go up this way, then out that way. And then you got the, what do you call it? This one, the watchtower off in the distance. So that was supposed to be more tied in with the Outpost series, the books I'm writing. This one is an underwater log with hooks for chains. So you should have like shackles. So looks like shackles tied to it and is thrown into the ocean. But whoever was there is not there anymore. Either eaten by sharks or broke free. I don't know. Most likely like broke free or was broken free because like even cut on the shackles and no, well, I mean, no remains, but I don't know if there would be remains. If it was eaten, probably would have floated away. What happened? I think I'm gonna say he broke free. I like that he broke free. The Man and the Angel. Basically, this guy is sitting at a TV. So TV, he's on the couch watching the TV, kitchen in the background. But right here, there we go. That's where he's like holding hands with the ghost that he sees, like he's imagining, or he sees the image of the girl he loves right there with him, but he's sad because she's not actually there with him. He tries his best to fantasize about it and to try to make it real in his mind, but no matter how hard he tries, it's not real in the real world. And that sucks for him. All right, the yin and yang diamond, the diamond or square or cube, kind of like the yin yang logo, but in a three-dimensional cube or diamond form. Whoop, there we go. There we go. All right, I feel so like, like I feel like it's low quality. Like showing it like this, I'm like, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm making like digital images that I can just pop it up on the screen or something like that. That's the goal. But for now, I'm doing what I can. I got another drawing here. Okay. All right, it's all right. It's okay. And then a logo for exclusive fashion design or exclusive fashion company. One of those would be kind of cool. Maybe. Definitely updating it. And then there's some more there too. There we go. Some more like kind of doodles. Zarcosis. That's just a made up word, but I thought it was kind of cool. Little Z goes like that. Here, just look. Just look at it. Look at it. There we go. So Z with the top and the bottom part with a little gap in between it. All right, so that is all for the binder. Okay, cool. We actually got through the binder part. Awesome. Actually didn't think I would get that far, but I got some more time still. And we're gonna go over to the phone because I think I have some there as well. Acroscape architecture. I do not. Oh my gosh, I do not. Okay, so we got the binder, phone, laptop. And then I also have voice memos, but those are tied in between my iPad and phone, so those would be on my phone too. But I need to organize those and type those up too, so that's gonna take a lot longer. All right, Ayaru Art Museum. We have an idea for an annual art competition, the exhibit exhibition. Whoever is nominated and crowned as Artist of the Year will have the title of Osiris attributed to the beginning of their name, similar to other courtesy titles such as Doctor, Lord, President, King, Sir, etc. For example, someone named Sophia, who happens to win in a given year, will be allowed to assume the name Osiris Sophia for the rest of her life. That'd be kind of cool. It's an idea. It's fun. Make people feel like they got status. Feel like their hard work pays off. Collaborative community art opportunities. Gather the community together to create a collective artwork. Bolster community pride. It is representative of the hard work and commitment dedicated by the people of the city. The Blood, Sweat, and Tears Monument. So it's the Blood, Sweat, and Tears of the City Monument. Basically commemorating the work, the efforts of the city, and how much we're willing to put in. Opportunities. Okay, so opportunities for where these collaborative community art events can be held, or just different stations or centers, areas. Areas can include highways, neighborhoods, and parks. Different canvases can include things that we can use as a canvas, is like canals, like the sides of the canals, the highway walls, tunnels, just walls, different places, side of buildings, wherever. And it has to be city approved too, so it can't just be people doing graffiti. Like, you can do it, you just have to get city approval, talk to somebody, get a board of people approving, like, okay, yeah, this is cool, this is family appropriate. Like, this is not some like grotesque or super profane image or anything like that. So I mean, that's the only reason I would have that bureaucratic element to it, but that seems necessary. In Scottsdale, or so I had an idea for in Scottsdale, the on the east side of the intersection of Camelback and Hayden Road, that where they built that new tunnel. I remember running through it a couple times, walking through it a couple times, just thinking like there should be more on these walls. These walls are blank and boring. There needs to be art. All right. Japanese internment camp memorials. Monoliths and colossal statues erected to represent each location that served as a site for relocation for Japanese citizens during World War II. The names of all citizens transferred to each location will be engraved on metal or stone plaques, listed out for all onlookers to see how many people were affected by it. Yeah, we don't want to forget our mistakes. We fucked up. The Blood, Sweat, and Tears Monument. A monument that everyone who lives in the city, works in the city, or visits the city can contribute to. It represents all of the collective contributions made throughout time by all who have ever been to or been in the city, to the city. Products, classic and traditional. So far, there are none here. Products, modern and contemporary products. So far, none. At least not written here. And research anamorphic art. How do I create an NFT or a non-fungible token? And research the company Matchbox Art. Okay. All right, cool. We got Aru. Hope you enjoyed. Got some ideas. And I gotta get ready for something else. But thanks for watching, and it kind of feels good that I got some of those out there. Next up is going to be Acroscape architecture. All right, here we go. Let's have a good day.